Every day I hear the same complaints over and over again.
Oh, my team always has a troll, always has a lever or thrower, and it's impossible to climb out of elo hell and it tilts me.
Sure, these people definitely exist, but if you can proudly say you've never thrown a game, then why are you always the unlucky one with the troll teammates? Mathematically, if you're a good cookie, then it's more likely that the enemy team will have a troll since there's 6 chances there instead of 5. But that's impossible. It doesn't make any sense. It's always your team with the thrower, right? Okay, so check it. This is my theory. Now, I'm not saying you're the one directly throwing your games, but you may be the one indirectly doing it by provoking and blaming your teammates, causing them to tilt and potentially throw without you even realizing it. Again, if this is always happening to you, then you're the common denominator. Listen, I'm not here to make you feel bad, but don't worry, you're in good hands because today I've teamed up with Dan Himmelstein in partnership with the Predator Training Room. He's the founder of Premier Esports Academy and has a master's degree in sport and performance psychology, and with his guidance, we've come up with a few tips to help you stop the throwers and how to properly communicate with your team. In Overwatch, your specific choice of words can significantly impact your team during general competitive play, especially when making team comps, switches, and organized plays. Let's start with tip number 1. Use neutral words. For example, if your Widowmaker is constantly losing the sniper duel against the enemy Widow, do not point your finger at that individual and call them out for it. Use less of Widow, you're useless, and Widow, you're not doing any DPS, and instead, use more of we need to protect our Widow, or we need to make a switch to help deal with their Widow. Using the word you puts unnecessary blame on that individual, but using the word we puts it in the team's hands. It makes sense, right? If you're putting the reason why the team is losing on that one person, it's very direct, confrontational, and naturally they're going to get defensive because they feel individually attacked. Now this usually spirals into 2 outcomes. 1, you're just going to make it less likely for them to switch because their natural response is going to be trying to prove you wrong. They're going to take it on as a challenge that they can do it, they can play Widowmaker, and they can win the sniper duel, and they're not as bad as you're making them out to be. I mean, they're at the same rank as you, right? The other result is that they get tilted by your targeted statements towards their Widow play because everybody has their breaking point. Now you've upset them. They can't think straight. They're angry. Their palms are sweaty. Knees weak. Arms are heavy. They're thinking, man, I was trying my best. Why you call me out like that for just dying a few times? You know what? I'm switching to Torb. You don't deserve to win. F this team. Well, congratulations. It was a 6 versus 6, but you just made an enemy on your own team and made it a 5 versus 7. If you've ever wondered why you're the victim of constant trolls and levers and throwers, your answer might lie right there. Make sure to use neutral words to shift the blame away from that individual, and that alone can single-handedly minimize the throwers and trolls on your team from forming. We, us, our, instead of you're getting destroyed by that Hanzo, we as a team are getting destroyed by that Hanzo. That Hanzo is destroying us. Our DPS heroes need help dealing with that Hanzo. Alright, let's move on to communication tip number 2, using salesman tricks. Making teammates switch heroes can be a tough obstacle to tackle. Luckily, there are clever ways you can use your words to convince people to make the decisions you want them to make. No one likes being told what to do, so what you need to do is phrase your requests in a way that tricks them into thinking that they made the decision for themselves. For example, if the enemy Pharah is destroying your DPS player that is on Junkrat and he definitely needs to switch to a hit scan hero, instead of saying, hey Junkrat, you need to switch to a hit scan like McCree, you should instead phrase it as, which hit scan do you want? McCree, Soldier, or Widow, because their Pharah is destroying us. Take a look at these statements and look at the difference. Your goal is to get Junkrat to switch to a hit scan, right? Although both statements are requesting this, if we look at the first statement though, you're essentially demanding and telling him what to do. Switch to McCree and his response will be, yes I will, or no I won't. Now if we look at the second statement, this one shifts it from demanding him to play a hit scan to asking which one. He can still say none of the above, but when we present him with the 3 options of McCree, Soldier, and Widow, his brain is way more likely to choose one of the 3 because he has autonomy and control of his hero switching decision. All the while, you're secretly accomplishing your goal of getting a hit scan. You did it. You tricked him. You set up the parameters, the trap, and he fell for the bait. Now, we also use the word because as it gives a reasoning behind your request, giving it more substance. The word because is a power word in the sales world because it rationalizes the decision and justification of the purchase for the buyer. It has been studied and proven to be extremely effective. Now, I'm hoping these little communication tips were insightful and that you apply them to your Overwatch games so we can get less tilted Timmys and more happy Helens. Sorry if your name is Timmy. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. This is a new style for me, and it was again in partnership with Dan Himmelstein, who works alongside myself and other creators for the Predator Training Room. Dan also has a few articles he's written on topics such as deliberate practice and breaking through plateaus and more, which I'll link down below. Take care, guys.